This will wrap up our last lecture from our last concept in section 2.4, change in quantity problems. So we were in the middle of the example 20 when we cut off last time. So we're just going to finish that. We have all of our information written down here, so we are ready to find that change. So the end temperature here is our 82 degrees, so we'll copy that down, and then minus, and our beginning temperature here is a negative 23 degrees. And so we have an integer subtraction that needs to get changed to an addition, so 82 plus a positive 23, and that way we see we're adding these together, so 3 and 2 is 5, and 2 and 8 is 10, and so that's 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Now again, this is talking from starting from the mountains temperature and getting up to Death Valley's temperature. That means we're increasing the amount of temperature. If we looked at this in reverse, then we would start at Death Valley's and have to get down to the mountains temperature. And so your sign that you see in front of these is a difference in how we're changing. So this is the paragraph up here that I'm talking about, and that's called out in this box here. So a negative answer shows that we're decreasing in quantity, and a positive answer shows that we're increasing in quantity. So let's just do one more example on this before we end this set of lectures. So our next problem here, we have one of your books exercises rewritten, and I really should tell you that this problem is in almost every single textbook I've ever used, so it's not like I'm ripping off your textbook here for this problem. It actually, a lot of people use this one, and so your exercise is a little bit differently worded, and I want you to go read exercise number 59 on page 87 and see how they worded it, so you can see the juxtaposition between the wordings. So let's say that you start at the top of Mount McKinley. So our beginning is the mountain this time. And so I'm going to do it the other way so that you see here's the beginning. This is the from. And then it has an elevation of 20,320 feet above sea level. So 20,320 feet there. And you end in Death Valley. So Death Valley is the ending in this particular case. And that is a negative 282 feet because it's below sea level. So we represent that by a negative number. And then we want to find out what the change in the elevation is. So our change here is going to be, of course, our same old, the end minus the beginning. So end minus the begin. And that we're going to say is the ending result, which is a negative 282 feet, minus the beginning, which was 20,320 feet. And so we change that to an addition problem. So we copy the negative 282, and then we add, and the opposite of this number over here, so a negative 20,320. And then because those are like signs, we're going to be adding 282 and 20,320 together, and we're going to keep the common sign, which is negative. So that's going to give us a negative, and let's see, 2 and 0 is 2, 2 and 8 is 10, 3 and 1 is 4, and 2 is 6, and 0 and 2, 0 is 0, and 2 and 0 is 2. So that's a negative 20,602 feet. And what you're going to notice is the answer in your book is a positive 20,602 feet. This negative right here is telling us about going down. So we started from the high place and we went down to the low place. So this negative tells us that we are doing a decrease versus starting at the low place and climbing up to the higher place. And that wraps up section 2.4.